Cheyenne from Plant My Happy Space. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not already, please subscribe. I'm going to be putting out content at least every week, usually twice a week, and I'd love it if you guys could stick around and watch any future content I put out. Maybe binge watch my last couple of videos if you got the time. And if you aren't already, you should definitely follow me on Instagram too. Different content, but still planty related. Today, we are going to talk about my current wish list plants. My last couple of videos, I've been obtaining a lot of plants, but there are still so many out there that I want, which is crazy to think about because my last 2 plant hauls have 30 plants in them, so you'd think I'd have enough, right? No, you'd be wrong. I never have enough. So today we're going to talk about the ones that I still want, and a lot of these are going to be harder to find anyways, so they might take me some time to get. I'm going to start off with calatheas first because there's only one on this list that I really want, and that is the Calathea warscewiczii. Nobody on YouTube knows how to pronounce it correctly from what I can tell, but I'll show a picture of it right here, and I want this so badly because I'm really fond of calatheas. They do really good under my care, and these are velvet calatheas. And I don't mean just like, oh, they look kind of velvety, like, no. These are straight, like, heartleaf philodendron velvet plants, but in a calathea, like that kind of feeling, and I want one so bad. I'm on the hunt for it, and the second I see it somewhere, I'm gonna get it, like, snatch it up immediately. The second is an anthurium that I really want, and that is the queen anthurium. I am very fond of trailing and vining plants, which this plant isn't necessarily that, but I love the idea of it having such a long, large leaf that it just inherently is like a cascading plant. Like, I love that. I want to put that in a bright room on a top shelf and just watch these long leaves take over one of my shelves. I have dreams about this, you guys. Like, I want it so badly. All right, moving on to philodendrons. The first philodendron I want is a Philodendron sodiroi. Sodiroi? It'll say the name. And I want this because, like, it reminds me of a more, like, luxurious, large version of a Philodendron brantianum because it's heart-shaped leaves that have, like, this beautiful silver going down, and they're just, like, seeing a picture of what they'll look like when they get very large just makes me, like, bigger and is better in my mind. Like, there's no such thing as having enough, and bigger is always better. I want large leaves. I want cascading 5 feet down trailing plants. Like, more is more. The next one I want is a Philodendron White Wizard, and it's got, like, one of the purest whites I've ever seen on a plant, and I am a sucker for variegated plants, just through and through. So when I saw this, I want it so bad. And, like, I'll be okay if I get, like, the White Wizard or, like, the other versions that look basically the same, but they're not. But from what I can tell, the White Wizard specifically has, like, the most blocky white chunks on the leaf, from what I can tell. They're all relatively the same, so if I get one of the other white philodendrons, I'll be happy, but I'm on the hunt for this one specifically, the White Wizard. I am definitely a big fan of philodendrons, and I love blocky variegation. I can't even express to you my drive for chunky variegation. And I don't even necessarily care if it's, like, half moon variegation, because I actually don't love half moon variegation, because almost every time I have a plant that does the half moon, I have to end up cutting off, like, one whole half. And, you know, it kind of just takes away from the beauty of the plant when you have to do that, especially very often. So I don't necessarily want half moon, but I love just large chunks of coloration, variegation on the leaves. The next philodendron I want is a Philodendron Gigas, or however you want to pronounce it. And their leaves remind me of like these like velvet almonds almost. And I love it because when you look at pictures of them in their less mature state versus their mature state, they still maintain a lot of the same qualities. So like there's many plants that like are kind of round until they become an adult, and then they start to drop. But from what I've seen on the internet, even their less mature leaves are these cute little velvet almonds, and they're just like adorable to me. And all velvet leaf philodendrons need to be in my collection, so that's on there. So the next one is a Philodendron Red Moon, and this is probably the most rare plant that's on this list today. And I've actually never even seen this being sold anywhere, not online, not even in like on shops from like other countries like Indonesia and Thailand. Like I don't see this plant. The only place I've seen it is on Instagram for like a select 2 or 3 people have shown the pictures of it. And I love it. Like imagine like you take a pink princess philodendron, right? That's got like the green and burgundy and hot pink leaves, right? But you take the colors from like a Philodendron Prince of Orange. Like that's this plant. Like instead of it being dark green with burgundy and pink, it's like lime green, like straight lime green with like chunks of red and like yellow. Like it's so beautiful, and I want it so badly. And I will probably never have this plant, probably never, but I want it so badly. Like you guys have no idea. Like I want it, and because I know I can't have it, I want it even more. Are you guys, you get that? Like I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably the same way, but I want it so badly. So badly. Okay, so finally moving out of the philodendrons, we're into the last group of plants, which is the alocasias that I want. And the first one is an Alocasia cuprea. And oh my god, this looks so beautiful to me. I love finding plants that have unique color and texture and stuff like that, because as much as I love all my plants, I love it when I can look at a corner in a room and it's not just different variations of green. I love that I can look in a corner sometimes and see these neon yellows and pinks and purples and all this other stuff. So this one makes me want it so badly because it is like a metallic finish, and it's like these flecks of like silver and red from the way that you look at it because of its metallic finish. And I'm on the hunt for it. So far I've only been able to find it at a reasonable price on sellers from other countries. And when it comes to finicky plants like alocasias, I don't love buying them from overseas, just because even if they're a great company, the leaves might all fall off by the time they get here. And even though it's a plant that would be worth the rehab, ideally I don't want to buy a plant that I know I'm going to have to rehab because of shipping. So I might give in and buy it from one of these countries eventually, but as of right now I haven't. I'm still looking for stuff stateside. The next one is the Alocasia Dragon scale, and this has been on my wish list since I saw Kelly Ellen's Rare Plant Index of alocasias, because I already have the Silver Dragon and I saw that one, and just like the extreme contrast of the coloring where it's like really dark veining with like this beautiful green on the rest of the leaf, like, and not even just the veining, but because of the raised texture, it makes the contrast look even more dramatic. So I'm on the hunt for it. And before I started acquiring alocasias, I would have assumed that it would be harder to get the Silver Dragon because it's, it's a different color. It's not just green. So most of the time when you have a plant that's a different color, those tend to be harder to get. But I was able to get a Silver Dragon on Etsy pretty quickly. But I have yet to be able to get a dragon scale. And it will be mine. It will be mine. And the last plant on this list is an Alocasia zebrina. And I honestly don't know what draws me to want this plant, because the thing that makes it so different is the zebra-like stems. But I'm not like a super big fan or, you know, super drawn to stem variations necessarily. It's almost always different like leaf texture colors that get me, not usually stems. So for this one, I don't really know what's pulling me to it, because it's the stems that are, you know, what make it original. So I can't justify it, but I want it. And I'm sure you guys probably have that same conversation in your head, especially if any of y'all have like significant others that don't understand your plant addiction, and you have to like fully try to explain to them why you need another plant, and you sound like a crazy person trying to explain it. That's how I feel right now, trying to explain why I want the Alocasia zebrina. I don't know why, but I know it will be mine. That's all I know. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I know this was a quick video. I know it was a simple video, but I wanted to put it out there because I feel like I talk a lot about the plants that I am currently purchasing, but maybe I thought it might be a little helpful for y'all to know like what I'm like looking for on a regular basis, like what my kind of vibe is, and like what you might see potentially in future haul videos if I can find any of these plants. And maybe you guys can comment down below and tell me some of your favorite plants. Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Please comment down below and tell me what some of your wish list plants are right now, because we can just fuel each other's addictions. Tell me what you want, and maybe I didn't even think about it, and now I'm just going to add that to my list, and vice versa. Like, this right here, guys, is why I started a YouTube channel. For the simple fact that we can just be in a no judgment space and just fuel each other's addictions. That's all I want in life. All right, guys. Like I said before, if you're not following me here or on Instagram, you should definitely subscribe and follow me. I'd really appreciate it. For now, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.